Pro Football Weekly is previewing every position in fantasy football. Right now we're talking tight ends, and overwhelmingly Antonio Gates has been the best tight end in fantasy football the last few years. But is there anyone you see on the horizon, maybe even this year, that could supplant him as the top guy?
Well, what makes Gates so good is he's such a good receiver. And he's in so many of their plays, such a big part of the offense. The one guy is Vernon Davis. If he had somebody other than Alex Smith throwing him the ball, like Phillip Rivers, for example, if he was in San Diego's offense, I think Vernon Davis has a type of skill set where he could be as good and productive as Gates. But for right now, it's Antonio Gates and everybody else.
Well, maybe next year Andrew Luck can do it. We'll see if that happens. Last year there were a bunch of rookie tight ends that really came on, especially in New England. They had a couple of them. Tony Moeaki in Kansas City also played well. Do you see those guys kind of being able to continue that and progress in year two?
Well, I think what we saw last year is what the league is, turned into, using these tight ends who are good pass catchers. Because again, the NFL is a passing league right now. In addition to wide receivers, you need a good tight end. The Patriots took full advantage of those two guys, Rob Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez. I think those two guys again should have big seasons. Tony Moeaki has more weapons around him in Kansas City, but he should still be the goal line guy. Looking for Jimmy Graham now. He is the clear starter in New Orleans. Yeah. Came on strong at the end of the year last year with Drew Brees at quarterback. He could have an even better year in year two.
I don't think a lot of people noticed late in the year that he became a favorite for Drew Brees. And finally, there's some guys that have switched teams, really some big-name tight ends that have gone around, been to different teams now. Todd Heap, Zach Miller. Who do you think could really step up out of those guys?
Well, Greg Olson's the one to keep an eye on because he reunites with Greg Chudzinski. We know that Chudzinski, with the Chargers, used Antonio Gates as their star tight end, and now he's with the Panthers as their offensive coordinator. Greg Olson really wasn't utilized well in Chicago, just could never live up to his potential. He's the guy that could have a big year. Zach Miller in Seattle, if that offense, it all depends on the quarterback play again.
Yeah.
If a quarterback can step up, Zach Miller has been a great receiving tight end over the past couple of years. Another guy to look at, Kevin Boss. Goes to Oakland, where Zach Miller was so productive. We know Oakland likes to use a tight end. Kevin Boss, very good near the goal line. He can get you some fantasy touchdowns.
Don't forget about Todd Heap. Arizona really never had a good tight end. Maybe he will finally be the one. That's a look at the tight end position in fantasy football. For a preview of all the positions, check it out at ProFootballWeekly.com.